When you're first getting started with your new planner, I know it can feel really overwhelming to know where to begin. So my goal in this video is to give you a complete overview of the steps I personally suggest taking when you're just getting started in a new planner. Now, there isn't a right or wrong way to get started. This is simply the way that I suggest you getting in there and getting used to all of the features, specifically if you're feeling overwhelmed. Now, if you're brand new to digital planning, the concept, the apps, I do have a getting started email series that can really help take you through all of the basics. The goal of this video is to show you an overview of the steps you can take, but if you're still trying to learn the basics of importing files, using stickers, duplicating pages, go ahead and sign up for that Getting Started series to really take you step by step through all of those basics. Now, you'll notice that the planner I'm showing today might look a little bit different than the version you have, but the primary features of my planners are very similar, so you should be able to follow along and understand anything extra or additional that your planner might have to the one that I'm showing today. So the first thing I'll do here is import my files into my PDF markup app, and I'm just going to click open in, and in this case I'm opening it in the GoodNotes app, so I'll go ahead and import my planner file itself, my covers file, and if you're working in GoodNotes specifically, you'll also import the sticker book. Once you have everything imported, the first thing I suggest doing is setting your custom cover. So I personally like using the portrait covers, and for this planner, I like this one, so I'm going to hit the three dots and copy the page. And then I'm going to jump over to my planner, and I'm going to paste that page right after the original cover. And then if you go ahead and delete that original cover, now you've just changed your cover. I'm just going to get rid of these covers because I don't need those anymore. And now you can see I have my own custom cover for my planner, which is basically just changing the thumbnail. So let's get started on the planner itself. Now, the first page of our planner is a general information page. This is a great place to come back to if you need an explainer on any of the features, and if you have a different version of the planner, this will show those features there as well. So this is a great resource for you. But for today, let's jump in and talk about the first place you should start when you first import your planner. Now, for my planner specifically, I recommend taking a look at the Goal Clarity Roadmap when you're thinking about how you're going to use your planner and the features. Because my planners are really focused on goal setting and goal achievement, I've built this special section into them to really help take you from lack of focus and overwhelm to complete clarity. The reason that I recommend starting here is because some of these exercises and prompts will help you become more clear on what you want to focus on throughout the year and what you want to get out of this planner, which will then inform some of the other ways that you're going to use the other pages. So using this section is completely optional, but again, if you're looking for a year focused on going after big goals, I really suggest taking some time to go through this. Now, each of these steps that you see here, if you tap into them, they're going to take you to a series of prompts that you can work through. Now, I don't recommend doing all of this in one sitting. Usually taking about a week to space it out is a great way to handle it. And there's actually in here a time study that prompts you to track your time for a week. So again, something that I would suggest going through for about a week. When you first jump into it, take some time just to go through the different steps and absorb the prompts, and then map out some time to go through it over the next week or so. The idea is once you go through these prompts, you'll be in a great place to be able to set really meaningful goals and create some focus for your year. So I suggest starting there, getting familiar with it, and mapping out some time to really go through that entire process. Another great place to get started when you first jump into the planner is taking a look at the annual tracking pages. Now, these are the icons you see over here in the gray. In this specific planner, you have a space for important dates. You also have an area to make a wish list and think about a bucket list of things you might want to do over the next year. Your health tracker and a finance tracker. So it's great to start and transfer over any information that you might be managing in your current planner, specifically around important dates, and just be aware that these pages are here and can be a great place to get started with tracking some of these more important details in your life throughout the year. Now let's jump into the planning pages themselves. So you have a monthly spread for every month, and then that page links out to both your weekly and daily pages. If we tap here on the week number, it's going to take us to our weekly page. And if we tap here on the day, either from this weekly page or from that month, it takes us to our daily page. And so you can see even in that alone, that's a lot of planning pages. And I'd encourage you right now as you're starting to think about, how do I really want to use and make the most of all of these pages? I can tell you for me personally, I don't always use a daily page every day of the week, depending on what my needs are. I don't always fill out my month in great detail. So it's just important to think about, what does my life look like? What do I want to get from my planner? And therefore, what pages do I think I'll use right away? And that's really the power of digital planning as well. Don't get overwhelmed by all of the pages here. Just remember that you can make it your own and you can use what's useful to you and just leave or ignore whatever isn't, because you aren't carrying around all of these pages in a huge book. You can just ignore any pages you don't need. So if I'm in here on my month, you also have monthly bonus pages. And again, this is where I'd encourage you not to get overwhelmed. Just think about what you might want to experiment with or use initially, and some of these you might come back to in future months. You have a monthly reflection and planning, and then finally just a blank page that you can make into anything you want. Now likewise, when we jump down into the week, you have bonus pages as well. You have this health tracker, and then you have a weekly planning. Now from your weekly bonus page, just tap that week 27. It'll take you back to your weekly page. And then finally, you have a blank page also linked to your week. So for the first week, I'd recommend just starting with the pages that you have here and really figuring out how to make the layouts work for you. Now, once you're feeling comfortable with the pages themselves, you can get a little fancier with your layouts and start experimenting with adding your own stickers. So this brings us into the sticker book. Now, if you're not a GoodNotes user, you have all of these stickers in a zipped file with all of the PNGs. So go ahead and refer to my sticker video if you need any help with the stickers. But here in GoodNotes, you have them all laid out like this, and you can go through and browse. Now, these are designed to really replace certain areas of your page with a different layout. So for example, if you wanted to be able to, let's jump over to our weekly overlay layouts. If you wanted to be able to add a schedule block to your weekly pages, you just grab this right here. Make sure you have images on. Grab this right here and copy it. And then here on your weekly page, we're going to paste it in. And then you can also paste in anything over this bottom area as well, whether you want to cover it up completely with one of these content areas, or if you just want to add some quick headers, you can do that here. And so you can see there are a ton of different possibilities that you have with using these sticker sets. And I challenge you just to go through and experiment a little bit with your layouts and figure out what works best for you. Once you have a layout that you see yourself using over and over again and you want to save it, I always recommend just getting everything in place on a blank page, selecting it all and choosing copy and pasting it on a blank page of your planner so that you can easily grab it and add it to future weeks. Now with GoodNotes, with the new element feature, you can also choose add element and you can add it to a collection so that you have that available as an element, all as one sticker. I'll show you how that works in that example. Now it all came out together, all placed, and you just place it on the page. So really there are so many possibilities, both from the widgets kind of that are designed to go over the content areas of your pages, and then just stickers in general. So I take some time to figure out how you want to set up your pages and what you might want to experiment with. Again, you're not locked into anything, but this is a great time just to get creative and figure out how to make the most of your sticker set and make the planning pages themselves work for you and allow you to record the information that you need to on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis. So take some time to get used to your overall flow of planning your week, managing information in your planner, customizing your layout with stickers. Once you get really comfortable with that, then it's a great time to start thinking about how you might want to expand your planner even more beyond your basic goal setting and planning. What else do you want your planner to help you to do? Do you want to track a reading list, plan projects? This is a good time to hop over and tap on this icon right here with the template pages and take a look at all of the different template pages that you have available in this planner. So if I tap in here to the mood tracker, or I can look at my bill payment tracker, and you can go in and just explore everything that's available here for you to help you get organized and really maintain all of your most important information. Now, if you find a layout that you want to use, for example, say I want to create a reading list in my planner, what you'll do is you'll build out a custom section to manage your reading list. So I'm going to tap over to my custom section table of contents. And I'm just going to write in here reading list. And with this, I'm really building out my custom section. So I tap on the 1 to jump to that section divider. And I'm going to paste in what I just wrote there so that when I jump to this divider by tapping the 1, I know exactly what this section is for. And then I can keep notes here on contents. If you want to have more decorative divider pages, I do have a freebie for decorative divider overlays. If you don't like this more informational layout, you can put, a fun patterned design over it. Okay, so we have our section all ready to go. We're just going to go over, grab the reading list, and hit copy page. And then we're going to go back to our divider and add that page after and paste the page in. And now you can see that we have the reading list there, and I'm going to duplicate this just a few more times to make sure that I have a few pages to work from. And what we've done there is essentially built out that section for ourselves. So now from any page of the planner, if I want to see my reading list, I just tap this one here. It takes me to my divider and I swipe right to go through my reading list. And so you can imagine that you could build out any number of sections here from any of the divider pages that are available, just following those same steps. And I always recommend just building out your custom sections as you need them. Don't feel like you have to fill them all up. Throughout the year, you might come to new needs or have new ideas, and you can just designate sections as you need to use them. But don't feel like you have to set all of that up right away. And that's really it. So I know it's a lot, but I'm hoping that with what I broke down in this video, and if you just take it one step at a time, giving yourself some time to really get used to the planner, that you find that it's really adaptable and can grow with you throughout the year. Remember, you can make this planner whatever you need it to be for you, meaning you can use as little or as much in terms of the features and the templates that come with it as you need. And then another really powerful feature are all of the different content widgets that you have. And my hope with that is that you're able to really adapt your planning pages to your needs throughout the year, again, keeping everything really flexible. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you're brand new to digital planning and I lost you on some of those details around using stickers, duplicating pages, remember I have that Introduction to Digital Planning series. It's designed to deliver bite-sized daily lessons right to your inbox so you can learn all of those basics in the app step by step and get used to those concepts separately. As always, I'm here to help. Find me on Instagram, send me a message through our website contact form. I'm always happy to help with any questions that you run into. Happy planning!